I'm an American in Bangkok, and today I got a letter. And it's unusual in that this letter is from a woman. And let me just read what she has to say here. Do tell me this, Scott. Why are so many guys that go to Thailand such idiots? What is it in these Thai girls that just keep these white guys on their leash, loyal like a dog, willing to leave their brains at the door and serve them all their money on a silver platter? I've recently dumped a friend who is also by bar girls. 3 bar girls / prostitutes tried to scam him, and he still doesn't learn. I feel sick to the core of my stomach, and I got to the point where I don't even want to talk to him or give any advice anymore since he never listens anyway. And what baffles me is this guy is a mid-20s German guy, fit, tall, and quite good looking. He wouldn't have had much trouble finding girls in Germany. Why the go to whores and fall in love with them? His lack of taste in girls makes me feel physically sick. It may also be that I'm jealous of these bar girls. They're pretty much pieces of dog in society, yet they get all these dumb guys, some are good looking, falling head over heels for them. Me, I'm actually a decent girl, not too dim. I pay for my own half of the dates, never ask a guy for money in my life, nor is money that important to me, and I can't land a good guy. I don't even want money, man. What the is wrong with this world? Well, I do think she's got a point to an extent, although I gotta say that for the most part, like when you think about it, you don't really hear a whole lot of the relationship. Oh, I bit my tongue. The relationships that are stellar. You don't hear about all the great relationships. I'm one guy who's married and who's been married for a long time, but there are many. So it's not like all the guys who come to Thailand are stupid. They're not. It's not like all the guys who come to Thailand and who are single are stupid. They're not. I know several guys who they date, they have girls come over, they sleep with them, they try to carry on relationships with several of the girls, whether they're not serious with them at all or whether they're slightly serious and they just want to see where they're going. But there are many, many men who come here who have their act together, but you rarely hear about them. What fun is that? I mean, it's like if you just watch the cars drive by on the freeway, that's no fun. But when you see an accident, you got to stop and kind of take a little look to see what's going on. So that parallels the men in Thailand, at least in my view. So let me read what I wrote back to her. Great question. For some reason, I think guys come to Thailand and buy into Thai culture is much different than Western culture, and maybe this makes them feel it's okay to hook up with some chick who claims to be desperately in need of money. Maybe it's the white knight syndrome, or as I call it, the Captain Save-A-Ho syndrome. Smart, well-off, good-looking guys come to Thailand, see a woman who they think is attractive, then fall for the bait. The bait is, I work here because I need money. Oh, woe is me. Won't someone help me? For I have no other way to make it in life. Then the man with the money, even if it is a relatively small amount of money that he has, comes to the rescue, whisks her off her feet, and they live happily ever after. Only they don't. Most of the time, the guy doesn't have as much money as he thinks he needs. She wants a never-ending supply of it and rarely understands that the money is earned. It doesn't just fall from the sky. And then this is when the problems begin. And as far as what is wrong with the world, who knows? But one thing is certain. The world is a screwed up place. I mean, for all its beauty and its wonder and fabulous things, it is as equally screwed up and miserable and dirty. So, what am I supposed to say? That's a rhetorical question, I know, but I just felt the need to answer it. So, she went on. She went on about this here. And I kind of got the opinion that she's slightly angry. She's an angry woman. Now, I don't know where she's from. I'm not sure. Frankly, I don't know that it really matters. But she wrote back to me. She said, could be the white knight syndrome, or as you say, Captain Save-A-Ho syndrome, or it could be that these guys are actually just who can't handle strong women from their own Western cultures. Thais, when given enough money, they are willing to worship you beyond reason, willing to clean after your shit, and you don't have to do anything other than sponsor them. Well, first of all, she's got it wrong in that there are some women. Listen, the poor Thai women, the Isan women, a good deal of them, yeah, they're willing to do whatever they need to in order to get the money. To them, it's, I want a better life, I need that money. But there are many Isan women who they wouldn't even think of that, and there are a larger number of women in Thailand who they actually have their own money, and they won't do that kind of stuff. They won't do anything. Now, let's face it. People want money. It's not just women. It's men also. She writes, this is where she starts to get a little irritating to me. Western-minded women won't do that. We don't need your money. And mind you, I'm not rich either. I earn quite a little, yet I am not a gold digger. I have my pride. These whores don't. But we need your commitment and attention and love and equality. These men are too weak to be willing to give that. They opt for the easy way to buy love. Well, again, I got to disagree because, first of all, who says Western women don't do this? Western women don't want money. That's complete because if you take a woman who is fairly successful, got her act together, just to a fair extent, and then you put her with two guys equally as good looking, and you got a guy, he's a Porsche, and he's a doctor, and then you got a guy who, he's got, what are those things? A Gremlin, an AMC, Gremlin, or a Pinto, or, a Yugo, or something like that, and he works at Starbucks because he doesn't want the stress of trying to do anything else in life, but somehow he's got a little apartment, and he's got his act together. I would say that most of the time, a good deal of the Western women are going to go for the guy who's more successful because Western women tend to be very materialistic. Women in general, people in general are materialistic. Let's not just slam women about this. This is a people thing. Most people are not minimalists. It's as simple as that. For me, really, do I like money? Of course. But I like money for a little bit different reason than many people might like it. I like to be able to get something that I need and to know that I have enough to buy something of quality that's going to last me so that I can hang on to that possession. And for me, mostly that's like a camera or a piece of computer equipment or a piece of furniture, something that's going to last me a long time. It's not like I got to have the most expensive shirts or whatever. It's nice to have, maybe one or two really nice shirts and you paid good money for it or whatever. But for the most part, I don't need that kind of thing. And I think that this is where people fall into problems because what they want and what they need is different from one another. And so you get women who are looking for men who they got big money. And they would never dream of being with a guy who's working at Starbucks or McDonald's or simply because he wants a more simple life. He's living in like a little, what are those the little tiny houses that he owns, and he's living off of $700 a month, but he doesn't have anything more than that. He's got a beat up old car or something. Oh, and I can say that the kind of girls these white guys find attractive makes me want to puke. There are attractive Thai girls, even the dark-skinned ones, but some of those whores and bar girls look like they have been run over by a truck. Only the body is okay. So that must have been the sole attraction. Makes me sick, really. Now, I don't disagree with her on that one. I mean, listen, I've seen some really good-looking guys with some absolutely hideous women. I've had some guys send me photos of women who I thought were really unattractive. But you know what? Who's to say who's to say what's attractive or not? Whatever makes the person happy, whether it be their body or their mind or what have you. So I don't see where, she comes off, she's judging people already, which, whatever, people do that. And then she goes on and she says, and I think that I think that this also is a major part of the attractiveness Thailand has for these guys. The abundance of Farang hunters ready to worship them within a minute from meeting them. In their own countries, they need to work harder to get a girl to give them attention. Here they are the prey, no longer the predator. He only needs to sit at a Burger King and whores flock all over him. Again, listen. Can I go to a Burger King? I mean, listen, I'm no Brad Pitt, but can I go to a Burger King and have girls flocking all over me? No. But then I'm not in an area where there's nothing but whores. So, you lay down with dogs and you get fleas. You hang out in a patio bar. What do you expect to get? Whether you're a man or a woman, you're not going to be around people that are viewed as stellar individuals. Not to say that they aren't. They may very well be, but generally they're not going to be because, that's just the way that it goes. And then I wrote back to her because, of course, I had to. Not all men are too weak or that come here. Some of them may feel that the women back home are too strong and no longer feminine. They may be a little too bossy or a little too pushy, a little too needy, a little too authoritarian, if you will. Also, not all Thai women will do anything for a man simply for money. Sorry. Just as there are Western women with their own money, there are indeed Thai women who have financial independence, and the last thing they need is a man's money. They want the man for the man. They see a man and they go, wow, he's a good-looking guy. Oh, and then maybe they'll do whatever he wants. Yeah, okay. But that happens all over the world, okay? If you think Western women don't go after men for their money, you ought to open your eyes and take a closer look. You might not be the sort of woman who wants a man for his cash, but there are plenty of them out there. Think about it. Do women prefer a man with a Pinto or a BMW? Do they want a 40-year-old who chooses to work at Starbucks or a 40-year-old who is earning $200,000 a year as a stockbroker? Many of the men who come here to Thailand are either too lazy or too impatient to spend the time and energy they need to land a woman of substance. And that's the truth. I mean, listen, guys come here. Guys don't want to mess around and get in some heavy-duty relationship with a lot of the women. They want to get laid. It's simple. But they come here, that maybe they get laid, and then they find out that, the women are women. Whether they're prostitutes or not, they're still women. And, they start falling for the allure of the exotic Thai woman, I guess. And they forget that, hey, listen, if she was back home working in a brothel, he probably wouldn't even think about it, But when I came here, let's see here, when I came here, I knew, when I first came here, I already knew what the scene was because I had been told by many people, and I didn't have the internet at that time. But I knew that this is the way that it was. And frankly, I didn't have the extra money like where I could go, hey, you know what, this poor girl needs $500, I'll give it to her. No, this poor guy needed $500, and I wasn't about to give her my money. Something just happened. Well, that's really all I got. And considering something must have fallen in from somewhere, I don't know what happened. my roof has been leaking in the bathroom. So I don't know if that's what happened, that the roof fell in. I was joking about the roof falling in, but guess what? Heavy rain the last couple of days, and for some reason, probably the high quality construction, the roof fell in. Not good. Anyway, I rest my case. You know, don't always judge. And if you're a woman, guess what? Thai women are probably much different than you might think. Now, the whores might not be, but we already know, this is the thing, guys know going in, that when they go to a prostitute, what is the reason that woman is giving it up? She wants the money. So you already know. You know the rules of the game. So guys need to smarten up. I've said this, 100 times, 1,000 times, but nobody ever listens. And I just had a guy who happens to be a subscriber who I've met, and I like the guy. He's a nice guy. And he told me he went to Pattaya and he almost fell for one. He said, everything was so passionate and so it was, he thought it was right. And he caught himself and he had to snap out of it. And, it's good that he did. But I think he did probably because I've drilled it into his head. And, don't forget it. It's like, really, what kind of person do you want? It's not that they're bad people, but do you want a woman who's educated and who's got her act together and who doesn't need you if something happens to you? She can take care of you. Or do you want some woman that is going, I know money. What can I do? I don't know. I go work bar. Come on. So anyway. That's all I got. Now I got to go see if my roof fell in. So until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Choke me.